Hey guys, in this video, we're going to be sharing about part 2 of the best way to retire early.
You'll get so much fun talking about part 1. It's linked somewhere in the video. Just click on it to see the part 1 before you look at this part 2 itself. We had just so much fun talking about it that we decided to just share a bit more in terms of our thoughts when these two Kevin don't not clash, when come together to share their wealth of
Great
knowledge.
Kevin minds come together.
And there's a lot of learning to really take on. Okay, let's begin.
Yeah, well, a big thing that we hear a lot about right now is this having an emergency fund, having that 6-month emergency fund. Something that I've found is a lot of people, they'll save up that cash, they'll build up that 6-month emergency fund, but before you know it, vacation time comes up and, we'll just borrow from the emergency fund and we'll just repay it because, whatever, why not? And then what happens is nobody ends up ever investing. Is $100 a week going to do it?
It's the minimum. If you can put $400 aside, which is actually doable with your average salary of $56,000, it's the minimum.
Well, I think he was talking about saving the money and being very careful about not spending it on a vacation. What's your take on this, Sean?
I was smiling when we were saying this because that's so like me, right? So, that was when I first started. I didn't have a lot of money, but then every little money that I see in my bank, I tend to, I just want to spend it on my family. I just want to spend it on myself. I'm going to go on holidays, and I was literally in that position. So what actually really helped me was what's this thing called a forced saving. And the best way to force save for me was actually to force save through a property. So one thing that was really did well for me to the day that I thanked myself 8 years ago was actually to get my first home. And because my first home, that is where then I consistently make sure that I pay my mortgage. And when I sold it 8 to 9 years later, that is where then I started seeing my first pot of gold. Because ultimately, if you see a home, yes, as a liability, I understand it's a cash out. But don't forget, if you take a mortgage on it, you're also paying down your loan. And that is where when you sell it, you will have that big pot of gold. And that is where, of course, please reinvest it out. Do not, when you have this big pot of gold, do not go and spend it away.
Yeah, well, for me, I have a different take. So basically, I create a different bank account together with my wife, and what happens is that every month we'll deposit this in our money, right, our savings into this account, which is meant for investment or to retire early for ourselves. And so this money cannot be used to touch. We cannot touch it for vacation. We can only use it to invest.
Yes, but actually, from my point of view, why it was so tough for me, because I had very little resources, and every little bit in my bank, right, is something that I just wanted to enjoy. Yeah, I put it into maybe in today's position. Yes, my bank account is a lot more green now, right? And therefore, of course, me having to just park that one side to actually eat very good food, or just to hopefully can go on holiday soon, and that will not really put much big of a dent in my bank account, and therefore it makes it actually for me easier to then invest the remaining. But if I only have so little bit of money in my bank, it's very tough, I think, for many people with very little resources to actually really suffer through the next 5-10 years diligently just to invest and don't touch this fund. I think it's a very tough thing to do. I really applaud those that can actually did it. I really applaud the discipline, because even I myself have such a poor discipline when I had very little resources at that point of time.
Well, you have said a lot of things, and to be frank, right, the only thing that's stuck in my mind, right, is that you have a lot of green in your bank account. So is it okay that you give me a treat like large or
more than last time lah? But then of course now I also very disciplined put more stuff for investment so that I don't see it in my bank account. I mean, yes.
Stop trying to beat around the bush. Just tell me, are you going to treat me to lunch or dinner?
Okay. Dinner. After you treat me lunch.
So let's continue and watch what they are going to say.
Obviously, you should do more. A simple way to look at it is take 10% of your paycheck and put that away and never hit it. Do not touch it. Okay. Obviously, I understand medical emergencies and everything else, but the truth is, when you take money and burn it on a vacation or buy some useless piece of crap you're never going to use, which many people are guilty of, including me, you've killed off your future. That money's not working for you anymore. So do you really need another pair of jeans, another pair of shoes? Just look at your closet of all the crap you don't wear. That's all money you wasted. The truth is, most people wear, maybe a dozen different things they have, even though they have 30 of something. That's what my mother taught me. She said, buy few things, but buy really good things when you buy them that last. And that's the philosophy I have in everything from watches to clothing.
Actually, that's something that I 100% align with and agree with. It's actually not about spending money, but to me it's about buying something that is really of value to you, so that you treasure it and so that you use more of it. Maybe I give you one example. I used to be very against buying very expensive shoe, because my mindset was that, hey, actually buy very expensive shoe, then you keep stepping on it. It's like stepping on money when you think about it. I mean, it's a very weird concept. But ever since I bought a pair of shoes that cost $1,000, right? I think I wear it almost every other day. And this pair of shoes actually lasted me way longer than any of my other pair of shoes. So
I just want to interject. This is the mindset of someone, right, who have bought an expensive pair of shoes and is trying to cycle himself, right, that it is worth it. It's total BS.
No, it's not total BS. Let's count it on the ROI perspective. Okay, if you think about it, let's say you wear it for, out of 1 year, you wear it for 300 days. So you wear 600 days. Let's say you hold it for 2 years. So $1,000 divided by 600 days worth of wearing it, right? That's only $1 plus a day, as compared to, let's say you get that Nike shoe or whatever shoe that you buy or off the street, but you only wear it like 2 or 3 times.
You can still buy the Nike shoe and wear it on for 1 year, or $150 per shoe wear for 1 year.
Yeah, but you don't value it as much. That's the main thing here. So you calculate it on a per wear basis, right? Per outing basis, right?
It's about changing our mindset. It's about changing our mindset that the Nike shoe is worth it. Okay, it's about changing our mindset.
Actually, I mean, of course, you can buy a $100 pair of shoes and then you can wear it 600 times in 2 years. I think, of course, then that will be the ROI will be better lah. But then again, sometimes mindset is very tough to change. Of course, I don't have the best mindset when it comes to spending money and ensuring that I save money. So I might not be the best example to follow through, but guys, if you can justify your expenses, that might make you happier. But I think the key thing is this: I think it all boils back down to ensuring that you can earn enough. Actually, ensuring that your investment portfolio is big enough so they can enjoy things like this as well.
Yeah. Actually, right, I mean, after dissing you so far, right, to be frank, I also buy expensive stuff, but I try not to justify for it, in the sense that I'll just say that I enjoy it. I enjoy it.
Yeah, that's true. Enjoy it, it hardly makes a dent in the bank account. To me, actually, I think it's fine because at the end of the day, I think life is too short. I think it's good to ensure that you enjoy your wealth as well. Yeah, but the key here is that ensuring that you also build up your wealth. So you have more importance and the want to build up your wealth so they can enjoy more such things.
Okay, so once again, I caught a very, very important point. I hope you guys heard that too. Buying expensive shoes, right, do not cause a dent in his wealth portfolio at all. So once again, when are you buying me dinner? Okay.
I bought a house, putting 3.5% down as a fixer-upper. My girlfriend at the time, she put half of the down payment in, and I put down half. So we each put down about $7,000 plus some closing costs and that. And one of the things that we found that was so beautiful about that was we were now able to buy a $300,000 asset that needed some repairs, so I could put my own sweat equity into it. We were able to control a $300,000 asset having a net worth of $9,000 each. And so we were able to do that with a monthly payment of about $2,000 a month.
Wow. Do you hear about that? $9,000 to control a
$300,000 worth of asset.
My God. Well, I think this is a very important point whereby if you are taking on a lot of leverage, right, to be buying an asset, right, then it's a double-edged sword. So you need to make sure that you buy it properly, because otherwise if you make a wrong choice, it may be fatal.
Because I think on the flip side, it's really probably very easy in the market bull run that the property price increased by 5 to 10%, and that will pretty much just triple up his current wealth.
Yeah, 5 to 10%. Let's say you have 10% of 300,000, right?
It's 30,000.
And his cash outlay is
9,000. So that is 3 times in terms of profit. So of course that's a benefit of really borrowing money to really buy a property. But then again, of course, that boils down to ensuring that you have some backup plans, ensuring there's some safety net, so that you can so that you can actually service the mortgage.
That was worst case scenario. If we needed to, we could move and rent it out for that. Even putting money aside for repairs and that. Or worst case scenario, we thought, hey, if we can't afford the payment, we'll rent out rooms. Isn't that potentially a way that people can start house hacking or renting out rooms, or buy a duplex, rent out another room, just to be able to leverage up their wealth maybe quicker than they could otherwise?
Yes, it is. And I did the same thing.
Okay, I really want to talk about this because this is a very, very powerful concept. Yeah. So if you think about it, if you are just very afraid of, let's say, investing, yeah, I think one of the best ways is really to invest in your own home, because your worst case scenario is really pretty much to stay in it and you're still benefiting out of it. But they're going one step deeper over here, which means that in a worst case scenario, they can still rent out rooms, or they can rent out their own whole home and probably take the rental income and rent a smaller apartment, so that then they have a positive cash flow over here, which comes to a concept in some, maybe in some countries, yeah, this concept, there's duplexes, some call it dual keys, that means two apartments in one title itself. And I would say that if you are really starting out and you are okay to stay in a smaller apartment, I mean, I highly encourage to really also start off that way, because if you think about it, let's say for example your mortgage is $3,000 a month, and then let's say your interest is $1,500 a month, but then yet out of this whole apartment you can rent out half of it at $1,500 a month. Hey, you're actually literally living for free, and you're free rolling your money just to wait to stay in it, your own home, and just wait for capital appreciation. And I think that's a very beautiful way to leverage up your wealth.
So ultimately, right, what I feel is that leveraging on our wealth, right, or leveraging to take on loans for an asset is actually very important. And the key is to make sure that we have contingency plans, like what you said, having like 6 months of savings or 12 months of savings. That's one point. And two, right, is also taking a look, like, can we actually rent this property out, right, in the event that we are unable to service the loans itself. So these are the very important points.
Yeah, so I would say that most people's downfall would be that, I mean, if they take a huge debt and get into a huge mortgage itself, and their unwillingness to make changes to their lifestyle, I think that is where then people get into trouble. So I think the key is to really acknowledge your position at that point of time. If, I mean, you have difficulty servicing the mortgage at the point of time, hey, there's no shame, there's no shame in just renting out rooms to ensure that you really keep this home to really tide you through this difficult time. And then of course when you get through it, and then that is where then you'll be sitting on capital gains, you'll be sitting on people paying your mortgage, and you'll be always better off. That's a beautiful thing about investing into assets.
So guys, I hope you have learned very important tips into how you can retire early. And if you are enjoying this video and learning something from this video, right, do remember to like this and also subscribe to our channel, because when you do this, you'll be helping us to help you even better. So once again, I'm Ivan Tai,
And I'm Sean.
and we are the co-founders of
iQuadrant.
iQuadrant, and we'll see you again soon. Bye!